Hey there, I'm Simon Tipler, Product Manager at Canvas GFX. I'm going to show you a prototype of Canvas and Vision integrated with Aras Innovator to easily update content in your technical documents. Here I am in Innovator, and I want to add an updated 3D model to one of my technical documents. First, let's have a look at this model of a new version of a robot arm designed in SolidWorks. In Parts, I'll open this assembly to understand all the sub-assemblies and parts within this model. Switching over to my technical document, I have some setup and safety instructions, including a photo of where this robot arm will be installed. This document needs more detail to visually communicate helpful information to our audience. I'm going to use Canvas and Vision to update this graphic, and I'll also create a graphic of the 3D model we saw. So now I'm going to switch over to Envision. In Envision, we have a dedicated Aras menu. Using this, I'll get the latest version of this 3D model directly from Innovator using the Insert 3D Model button. So now we have this model right in Envision. Let's create a graphic out of this model and push that into Innovator. Now we're back in my technical document, and I want to add that new graphic. Looks good, but I think I'm going to go back to Envision and we'll make this look even better. First, we have standard mouse controls for navigating around the model, and we also have this 3D cube that makes it easy to get around and see faces, sides, and corners. This is the angle I'm looking for. Next, there are different viewing modes for models. There's a technical view with a rendered light source. There's a flat technical view with flat colors. A silhouette view to just see the black and white version, and other views, including wireframes and others. In the assembly tree, I want to have a look at some of these sub-assemblies. I'm interested in this part here, and it looks like it's part of the J2 sub-assembly. I want to hide that to see how it fits together. My audience wants to see what's behind this cover, so I'll hide this J2 side cover. But now I'm worried that the audience won't understand that the cover needs to be there. So I want to do a linear explode to show this part moved away from the assembly. Notice I can grab it and move it along an axis. Perfect. Now I want to label a few parts. With the data annotation tool, I'm going to label this J2 side cover. I also want to highlight the new stepper motors in this new version of the robot arm. Notice, in 2 clicks, I can easily add these labels, which is a great time saver. Let's also highlight the jaws of this robot arm to remind everyone about safety. I'm going to use the annotation lens to highlight these parts. This looks good, but I really want to do a better job highlighting these jaws. In the 3D model, I'm going to select these 2 parts of the assembly, and I'm going to recolor these. Great. Now notice my annotation lens is automatically updated. This is looking great. So to recap, we can show this assembly with different angles, different view modes, showing, hiding different sub-assemblies or parts, automatic annotation labels, and a nice zoom lens. I've only shown a few of our features in Envision, but you can see all the time savings. Let's push this back to Innovator. While that's loading, I already have this photo open, and I want to fix the exposure of this dull photo by adjusting the levels. This white point of the photo needs to be adjusted. Notice the image getting much brighter. This looks way better. I also want to provide some context where the robot arm will be used, so I'm going to again use the annotation lens to highlight this area. I want to define a specific size for this lens in the Properties palette. You can also change the zoom lens level when you have it selected. So I'm going to zoom in maybe a little bit more. This looks great, so I'm going to save this to Aras as a new version. Back in Innovator, I'm going to refresh my technical document. It's telling me there are new versions of these graphics. I'm going to flip to Edit Mode, and let's have a look at this new version. This is looking really great, so I'll select this graphic and I'll choose Update to Latest. And I'll do the same with this photo below. Great, it's as simple as that. There's another graphic that might be helpful in our technical document. Let me insert a scanned image. We're finding just so many companies have legacy content that they're scanning. Notice, when I zoom in, this graphic is fairly pixelated. This could be from poor quality of the original paper image or low quality settings. I want to show you the Envision Auto Trace tool that will convert this to sharp vector lines. To do this, I'll select the object and I'll choose Auto Trace. These are the settings I want, and that's going to generate a vector version. Now I've got two objects. I've got my raster version and I've got my vector version. Notice the one on the left is my raster version with all sorts of pixelation and a really clean version on the right. I don't need my raster version anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. Now with my vector object, I want to recolor some of the parts. Notice this seamless transition between raster and vector tools in Envision. I want to use this color here, and I'll use the Smart Vector Fill to apply that color. Looks great. So now I'm going to save that up to Innovator, and I'm going to decide later if I want to use it. So that's a very quick look at our integration of Canvas Envision and Aras Innovator. Thanks for taking the time to watch it, and I hope you found this very useful.